Hey everyone, so this is here the NCAA TV broadcast schedule. This does not count like the regular season games for like the sports like football, like men's and women's basketball, like baseball, softball, lacrosse, field hockey, soccer. All the sports are on TV, like they're on ESPN, all ESPN networks, like Fox Sports, like Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, Big Ten Network, CBS Sports Network, ESPN Plus. This doesn't factor them in. It just factors in like the NCAA championships. Because even the sports are televised like on ESPN Plus, like you got or even just all the TV networks, like even TV networks, like football, basketball, men's basketball. You got men's soccer, bits and on like conference networks, or ESPN networks. You got volleyball, you got softball, baseball, you got hockey, ice hockey, you got other sports televised like wrestling televised on conference networks, and occasionally like ESPN network, main ESPN networks. So it's like you got a lot to do. So and that would be way too many to post. Even if they just posted like the fall sports to the fall, so like the winter sports season, like the fall sports season is almost done. Anyways, here we go. So we have first round. We have women. We have the field hockey tournament, which is women's only. Then we also have, and all those games are in ESPN Plus. We have the cross country, men's and women's men's and women's regional round, Midwest Regional in Peoria, Illinois. And then there's the men's and women's section, and then there's the Division 1 women's soccer tournament that is going on right now, today, first round. And then we have tomorrow. We also have the women's soccer tournament, and then they're going to do the men's and women's section announcement. 31 teams, the best teams from all the regions. They might be on that qualifiers based off each region, like the top team in each region, or the top so many individuals, or top team, so many teams, or top team, or something. It might be an automatic qualifier, but but it's just the men's and women's first round. The men's and women's section announcement for the NCAA, like cross country. And that is, and then we have Saturday. That's at 5 Eastern. It's the NCAA.com section show, which it is a pre-recorded section show. It's not live. It might be live, but it's just a selection show, which probably just means it's the pre-recorded selection show, which honestly, that's still not bad though. At least it's, better than, not having a selection show at all. It might be posted like the NCAA website, or like in like YouTube, and like the NCAA YouTube channel and stuff like that. So and that might be posted like the NCAA social media pages, like their Twitter or X as known. They may be posted like Instagram, like Facebook, stuff like that. So for each particular sport, like the NCAA page as a whole. And then we got some more women's soccer going on the same day. It basically, like, the schools can decide like what day they want their games on. And some teams that do it Saturdays, Sunday are doing it because they're basing it off like the weather or the sport they have. Like other sports, they have one on there. And they don't want to like take a sport, that I have at their campus. Or sports they're playing other places, No, maybe two. Probably just at their campus, at least for their team at their campus. And then we got Saturday, and then we got a few. On Saturday we got, and then Sunday there's the second round of the NCAA field hockey. And then Sunday they're going to be releasing the NCAA Division 3 men's and women's cross country. They're going to be releasing the cross country Division 3 men's and women's section show in a press release, so they're not going to be doing it like in a taped like selection show. They're not doing a pre-recorded taped selection show. They're just doing like a press release switch. So they're just gonna have like a list of the people that make it, the teams that make it, just a list of like the schools and the individuals. So there's gonna be people that make. There's gonna be teams that make it, and then there's gonna be individuals. So the team event, they're gonna have every single person from the teams competing, and then the individuals, they're just going to, out of like, out of like the individuals per gender, how many like what's the first place, and they're gonna space each team probably like what position. And if you're in first place, you get 1 point, and if you're in second, you get 2 points, and they're just gonna point total your teams based like that. And the team with like the lowest point total wins. An individual, like, it's just whoever has the best, like, per gender. Probably like maybe they might get first place, second place, third place, get like medals, maybe, or something. And the first place is ultimately the best. And then you got some more, like I said, women's soccer first round. Then you have a pre-recorded selection show. Well, that's after 1 p.m. is Eastern is a press release. At 5 Eastern, we have the Division 3 football selection show pre-recorded. That is at 5 Eastern. And that's 40 teams. And then, it's based off like that automatic qualifiers. And it also does it so that, and then also, there is the Division 2 football selection show with 28 teams. There's not as many conferences in there. They also base off the conferences. They have so there's a few automatic qualifiers maybe, but there's a lot more like conferences, a lot more schools in Division 3. Oh, probably so. They have football, so. And then a lot of them, you have to be like the automatic qualifier of your conference, like win your conference championship game, or just based off the regular season standings. Like I know there are in like the FCS, although I don't believe there are any conference championships. It's Division 2, 3. It's just based off the regular season. So, because kind of like the FBS is their own little thing with the conference championship, so it's like, the Division 2, 28 teams. That's at 6 Eastern. That will be on NC.com. A section show, pre-recorded section show. And a lot of the section shows are on NCAA.com. A lot of them are. There's only a few that are actually on ESPN networks, like ESPNU, most of them are in like ESPN. I don't think any of them are actually, but they're on like ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News, and most of them. So yeah. And then we have the Division I men's soccer section show live. There's not as many schools do Division I men's soccer as there are women's soccer. 64 for the women's soccer, 48 for the men's soccer. And some, so. And there are some, like, again, conference affiliations, like, not every school does men's soccer. So. And then there are some conference affiliations with, like, other conferences. Like, I know Sunbelt's one. Or they have conference affiliations, like some big name powers conference schools in there. But, they're just in there for soccer. And then we have the division that's live at 1 Eastern. Then we have a pre-recorded section show that goes at 1 Eastern. It is the Division III Women's section announcement, which is 64 teams. And then we have Division II Men's Soccer section announcement of 40 teams. That's at 7:30, 6 Eastern. That's 40 teams. And then they base it off of. And then I know the NCAA website also has for Division I, or like NC, which there might be some like water polo, might be like men's and women's water polo, might be non-NC, like no division based. Like same with like maybe like some other sports, maybe they're like non divisional based. They're gonna do on some of them. I know like Division II, Division III for live sports. Like they'll show like the quarterfinals and onward, like live on NCAA.com. And I know like Division II, Division III, a lot of these games. Sometimes they have like the local, like very local based like cable satellite providers that like maybe you have an internet provider and they have their own like cable TV subscription, kind of like satellite, like DirecTV, Dish Network, Comcast, like Time Warner, Xfinity, like Time Warner, like Comcast, like DirecTV, like Dish Network, like those, but they have like their own, like the internet providers. They have like their own version of like cable TV. It's kind of similar like the cable TV that you see in like the TV that you see in like hotels, motels, that type of thing. It's maybe through like an internet provider. Could be through like an internet provider, either internet provider for that hotel or motel or whatever. They have the TV. It's kind of like that, like local. It's might be on like those channels, like local channels, or they might have channels around that thing, like maybe like your like a local based sports channel, like a very local sports channel. Maybe local sports only, and then they have like high school or college sports, or like Division II, Division III colleges, like high schools around the area. Maybe very localized, and that's what it could be on those channels, or it could be on it could be like over the air on so like anyone, if you have over the air antenna, maybe they'll see it, but yeah, so. Or it could be on streaming services, if they put on streaming services for maybe the games that are picked, or maybe if their conference affiliation is through like say like a streaming provider like Flow Sports. Like I know they have affiliations like Division II, Division III conferences. Like some of them might be on Flow Sports as well, or on Flow Sports because of that, Anyways, then we have men's Division II soccer section announcement at 6:30 Eastern. It's a pre-recorded section show for 40 teams. Women's Division 2 women's soccer section announcement at 7 Eastern. That's 56 teams pre-recorded. And then Friday is all the Division 1, 2, and 3 field hockey semifinals. Division 1 is at noon and 3 Eastern. There are 2 semifinals. They're at the same site that they have one at noon Eastern and one at 3 Eastern. They have an hour break between each game. So, yeah, looks like. And then they have Division 3 field hockey semifinals at noon and 3 Eastern. Division 2 is at 2 and 5 Eastern. But that might be Division 2 might be like on the West Coast. So it might just be tailored towards their time, like noon and 2, like noon Pacific, 3 Pacific. And then we have that ESPNU has before football starts. ESPNU before football starts. They are going to be showing the Division 1 cross country championship. That race that's at 11 Eastern or 10 Eastern. It's women's 6K at 10:20 Eastern, and then men's 10K at 11 Eastern. And that will be right before football starts. It might overlap just a tad of like the opening game of opening like few minutes of the football game. That might have to go to ESPN News. But I mean, but it's part of like their agreement though with like ESPN. Has like an agreement with like NCAA. They bought like a whole huge package of like NCAA rights. Like you see like some of the rights are sold separately, like NCAA, like FBS, like football, like that's bowl game rights are sold separately. But that's not. FBS is kind of like different. They're not like affiliated like through the NCAA. I guess they're kind of in like their own little system. The NCAA laws because it's so like lucrative. I guess so much money. I guess you want to call it. And they know that it makes the NCAA so much money. It makes the school so much money. So. And then we got Division 3 cross country championships at Division, and then that is it. And that is on ESPN. Part of it's like their package where they bought like a whole package of rights. So for like sports, like water polo, like men's and women's water polo, like wrestling. You know, you see like some of them are bought separately, like the men's and women's basketball rights, or men's basketball rights, and are sold separately. Like you got the NCAA, like what is it? NCAA, I know the golf rights are sold separately to Golf Channel. I know and ESPN is okay with letting that go to the Golf Channel. I believe tennis was used to be on Tennis Channel for the divisions. At least I know Division 1. So tennis could be like ESPN Plus now. Maybe if Tennis Channel just focuses on like the men's and women's pro tennis. You know, all like the different like rankings of like pro tennis around the world. You know, like maybe there's like so many, maybe there's multiple different events going at the same time. Maybe like one's like a top 100 players only, but maybe one's like a top 500 players, but you know, but then it's only reserved for maybe say like, and then it might be a top 250 event one where like 101 to 250 play, and then 251 to 500 play in the 500 event. You know, so or something like that. So who knows? But I'm not for sure, but I know it's like something like that where they have a whole package of rights like hockey, men's women's soccer, I'm not sure if volleyball's in there, but volleyball might be in there. I know men's volleyball is in beach volleyball. You got wrestling. You got like men's lacrosse. Women's volleyball might be in them. They're like the water polo. You know, you got what else? Like field hockey, softball, baseball might be lumped in there. Some of them might carry like softball, baseball might carry it a little bit more. Like say or in like softball, baseball, lacrosse is, and then you might have like that might carry it. Maybe women's volleyball carries it a little bit. Then you might have like hockey. Maybe if they're women's basketball rights, I believe are sold or with it or were sold with it, and now I know they're sold separate. They might be sold with it or separately. Women's basketball, if that's sold with it, that carries it. You know, some networks might want more like individual rates. They don't want like all the whole package as a whole. You know what I mean? They don't have as much money to pay for the package as a whole. They don't typically show that in their a lot, you know. But then we have the Division 3 men's zones cross country national championship. The women's 6K is at 11 Eastern, and the men's 8K is at noon Eastern. Division 2 is the same day as Saturday. That's at 1 Eastern. Might be on the East Coast again, or West Coast again. Could not be, who knows. No, that's at 1 Eastern is the men's 10K, and the women's 6K is at 2:50 Eastern. On Saturday, the 23rd. And then we have the first round Division 3 football championship. The games are shown on ESPN Plus at their times to be determined. I know Division 3 teams might not have lights, so may not have as much lights and stuff, so it might be like earlier in the day. Like at like noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern, maybe on like West Coast or like Mountain Time Zones, Pacific or Mountain Time Zones. They might be at like noon Mountain, noon Pacific, noon Eastern, noon, maybe noon localized times. All time zones. Maybe like noon. Or it could be like noon, I would say. Then you got the FCS, the Division Football Championships Division, the FCS level. That's ESPN ran. That's ESPN ran. And that is on ESPN. You at 12:30 Eastern. Then we have the Division 1 Field Hockey Final. Division 3 and 2 on Sunday 24th at. That is at 1 Eastern on NCAA.com. Like all the Division 3 and 2 ones are on NCAA.com. Division 1s are on ESPN Plus or ESPN 2 or ESPN U, ESPN 2, ESPN News, like ABC for the most part. And then the division, and then at least the championship games are, and then other games are in division. These are on, are on other networks. But yeah, so then we have Division 1 Field Hockey Final at 2:30 or 1:30 Eastern. That's after the football championship. FCS football Division 1 football bracket is announced. And then we have the men's water polo section show. That is at noon Eastern, 9 teams. It's the National Collegiate, so it's like all divisions, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1 schools. There's not a lot of schools that do men's water polo in all the divisions. They just make it like one distinct like championship. And then Division 2 women's English section announcement at 7:30 Eastern. Then again, on the 30th and 30th is Division 2 or Division 3 football second round. Division 2 has not been announced yet for televised, but Division 3 though, ESPN Plus has its Division 3 football first round. I guess they're sold off though, NCAA, in their package of rights. I guess they found out that Division 3 was ESPN. Maybe some other network has rights to like Division. Maybe like other network. Maybe some other area has rights to Division 3 or 2, or maybe they're negotiating a deal for Division 2 rights to be maybe included in like that for football, to be included in that package of games. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But anyways, whatever. And then we have the whatever, I guess. And then we have the Division 1 Women's Section show. That's on the last day of games is on the 30th. And then the Sunday, the 1st, is at 6 p.m. Eastern, is the women's section announcement. 64 teams. And that's live. It could be, I guess it could be pre-recorded, you don't know, but I would assume it's live. However, I would assume, but and then at 12:30 or no 11:30 to 4:30 and 7 Eastern, all Division 3 quarterfinals are going to play the same site. No, Division 3 need to make the travel for have less travel on teams, because Division 3, Division 2 schools don't make as much money in athletics as like Division 1 schools do. So they always have it. So maybe like the final 8 are played at one site, and they're being doing. Then in their Division 3, so actually Division 3 women's quarterfinals are on ESPN Plus live. And then we have the Division 3 women's semifinals are being played the next day at 5 and 7:30 Eastern on Thursday. The Division 3 men's soccer semifinals are being played at 5:30 and 9 Eastern. Maybe that's that could be like West Coast, I would assume, because that would be 3:30 and 7 Pacific. So there would be an hour and a half break. But there's also, if the game goes only 90 minutes, but there could be overtime. And if there's overtime stuff, you still have like 45-minute, maybe like hour. You still have like that designated time that they'll give you like an hour, say maybe, of like designated so the players can like leave the field, the other team can take the field in practice and stuff like that. So that makes sense. But if not, then you're just having like a longer wait time. But then we got the National Collegiate Men's Water Polo first round at 3 Eastern, 5 Eastern, 7 Eastern, 9 Eastern on NCAA.com. And then we have the Division 1 soccer semifinals at 5 and 7:30 Eastern ESPNU. And then the Division 3 is at 5:30 and 9 Eastern. Could be at the same site as the Division 3 men's soccer place. Could be on the West Coast, maybe. And then we have The Division 3 men's soccer national championship is they give a day rest, and then Saturday at 3 Eastern on NCAA.com. You have the Division 3 Women's National Championship game. They get a day of rest in between the semifinals and the championship, but they don't get a day of rest in between the quarterfinals and the semifinals. But that is at 4 Eastern on ESPN Plus. You have 5 and 7 Eastern on Saturday is the National Collegiate Men's Water Polo semifinals on NCAA.com. Then the Sunday, the 8th at 3 Eastern, you have the Division 3 Women's Soccer National Championship. And a day of rest in between the men. But that's also because the men's championship is being played too. So a day of rest. And then Sunday at 6 Eastern on the 8th, we have the men's water polo national championship on ESPNU. 7 Eastern on the 9th, Monday, is the women's soccer national championship game. And there's a 2-day rest break in between that. And I think, but it's also for TV, and Saturday is the or like the FCS playoffs could be on like TV, like FCS football could be on TV for like ESPN networks, on the ESPNU or something like that, or like if other national championships could be like, you know what I'm saying? Or you could have like Division 3 on TV games, like FCS, like Division 3. Like, and then you got men's, women's basketball on weekends. Or you could have like some of the women's volleyball tournament for Division 1 on, so I could also see that, so. And then we got, but that's at 7 Eastern night on ESPNU. Then Division 2 women's quarterfinals are on Thursday on the 12th. They are at noon, 2:30, 5:30, and Eastern, with a half-hour break in between each game, except between there's a session, there's one session of 2 games, and there's a second session of 2 games, and that's an hour break in between the sessions. And it's also in case one game goes like longer than their designated times, it gives them like a little bit of a break to like, get it back on speed a little bit. Only maybe have a half-hour break between the sessions instead of like an hour. Then we have the Division 2 men's soccer semifinals at 3 and 6 Eastern on the 12th. And then the 3 and 6 Eastern on the 13th is December's the women's soccer semifinals. Then we have the women's volleyball court semifinals at 5 and Eastern on ESPN Plus. The men's soccer semifinals will be at 5 and 7:30 Eastern on ESPNU. And the Division 2 men's women's soccer semifinals will be on NCAA.com. And then Division 2 women, and then the Division 1 football championship subdivision, the FCS quarterfinal games. 3 of the 4, or actually all 4. Actually, all 4 of the games will be on ESPN networks. And ESPN televised networks, whether it's ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU. It could be ESPN, it could be ESPN2, it could be ESPNU, it could be ABC. Not really for sure. Yeah, and it does depend on like the FCS bowl games that day. So, and then we have the Division 2 football semifinals. Those Division 2 football semifinals are on ESPN Plus on Saturday the 14th. And they have not released this for Division 3 football for the third round. And then the quarterfinal. And then like the third round, which second round would be when they make it to 32. And then the third round would be 16. And then the fourth round would be 8 quarterfinals. I have not done the third round in the quarterfinals yet. Announcement yet either, but I'm assuming those will be on ESPN Plus as well. They just haven't mentioned yet on here. But they probably have other stuff that they already have determined on here to mention. And then they have and then Saturday the 14th, that's when the Division 2 football semifinals. Those will be on ESPN Plus. At times to be determined. And it'll probably be like on campus sites. I mean, a lot of these games they put on campus sites, except for like the final so many teams. Even Division 1, all of them, they put on campus sites. Which I like, it gives it more of an atmosphere. Some of it's just traditional at other sites, neutral sites like bowl games or men's basketball championship, but I like the campus site. I feel it gives it kind of like a home. You know what I mean? For a lot of it gives it like, it does. It gives it like a campus feel, and it gives it like, especially like the lower divisions, they do that a lot. It gives it like a campus feel. Kind of in a sense, like, you know, I like it, actually. And then we got the Division 2 Men's Soccer Championship on the 14th at 3 Eastern. And then we have Division 2 Women's National Championship on ESPN Plus at 6 Eastern on Saturday the 14th. And Sunday the 15th at 3 Eastern, we have Division 2 Women's Soccer National Championship on NCAA.com. So that is it so far here for the NCAA update here for the games that are on currently, or scheduled to be on. I guess not on currently, but scheduled to be on. Let's see here with the ESPNU, ESPN Plus. Most are on ESPN Plus in the case of Division 1 women's soccer. And the field hockey, most of them will be on ESPN Plus. And then most of the suction shows will be on NCAA.com except for the FCS football section show, and the women's volleyball section show, and then the semifinal and everything for Division 3 and Division 2 in women's volleyball and women's volleyball will be on ESPN Plus from the quarterfinals on in Division 3 and Division 2, and then Division 1 every game will be on ESPN Plus for every sport. It's Division 1. It's like in the division systems. And then we have the women's and men's soccer semifinal. So they'll be on ESPNU. And the field hockey final will be on ESPNU. And then to be determined what channel if it's on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU for the Division 1 FCS quarterfinals. Those all four will be in ESPN televised network. Or they could be either on ESPN Plus, or they could be on ESPN, or they could be on an ESPN televised network. Most likely it's an ESPN televised network, but it's yet to be announced, most likely. And then we got the Division 2 football semifinals on ESPN Plus, and the Division. So far, we have the Division 3 football first round, as well as the Division 3 football second round games on ESPN Plus. And So you know, 40 teams in Division 1, or Division 3, my bad, 40 teams in Division 3. First round, which will be eliminating the field down to 32 teams. And then on the 23rd, and the 30th, they'll be eliminating the teams down from 32 to 16. And then the round of 16, the quarterfinals, have not yet been announced because the quarterfinals will be on the 7th of December, or the third round, excuse me. The third round will be on the 7th of December. It should make it around 16. And then the round of 8 would be, the quarterfinals would be on the 14th. And they have not yet been announced for Division 3 yet, so they might be on ESPN Plus, or they could be on other networks, other streaming services, NCAA.com. I would assume if early on they had Division 3 first and second rounds on, I would assume maybe the round of 16, the third round, and the quarterfinals would be on ESPN Plus as well, but it just probably hasn't been updated on this list yet, though, because there's been so many games that they have, and also they put the first and second rounds on there. It's to be determined, like what time they're playing and, you know, who's playing what when, you know. So and then plus, so